hard to replace. Obviously he's had a lot of success here, the last couple of years. We wish him the best. I think we got some good young players that, might not be quite as proven yet, but I think they're talented kids. And, I'm anxious to watch those guys go out there and play on Saturday.
Was this something that you guys expected to happen, or was this kind of caught you guys off guard?
Yeah, it's kind of a yearly thing. You usually have 11 to 12 wideouts on scholarship, and you going into game week, and really 5 or 6 guys are going to get to play, and when your clock's running out, kind of like his is, I think he felt like he needed to go somewhere that would he would get to play a little more, and again, we wish him the best.
You had talked about the offensive line last year in the Louisville game. You bring back 4 starters that started that game along the O-line. I guess from that first scrimmage where you said you guys wanted to work on some things, how have you kind of seen them develop here in the last week and a half or so, even more than what they already have as experienced players?
Well, we gotta shore up the right tackle spot. I think we got 2 really young, talented kids fighting for that spot. That whichever way we go, I think we'll be in good shape. And I think it's just continuing to get reps. It's like we talk about every time: not having spring ball, not having a full summer, not having a full camp. The throwing and catching and the O-line play is what's going to take the biggest hit on that. And it's taken us a while to get tied back together, but I think as we've gone day to day, we've gotten better and better, and I look forward to us being able to go out and play well on Saturday.
Coach Hunter Smith, WKU. Just when you look at Louisville and their defense, what really kind of stands out to you?
How well coached they are. You can tell those guys know what they're doing. Their players aren't in the wrong place very often. They're talented. I think you look at last year's team, both us and them. I think we were in similar situations. I think we both had good players. They just the players had to remember they were good. They were coming off bad years and tough years, and the players kind of had to get some confidence and backing in themselves to know that they can go out there and play well. And they're good up front. They're an ACC front, so they got big guys that can move, rush the passer. The 2 linebackers, 9 and 17, do a great job. Really physical kids, run around. The ACC is kind of a passing league, kind of like ours. So all their guys are good in coverage. They've added a transfer in the back end that will only help them. They were good back there to begin with, but will only help them. And we got a tough challenge ahead of us, no doubt. When you combine really good coaching with really good players, you get really good football teams, and that's what we're walking into on Saturday.
Coach Ellis, Nick here from the College Heights Herald. So my question for you is, with offensive weapons ahead of Louisville, who would you think are really good wideouts in this matchup coming up this Saturday?
Our wideouts. Well, we're going to try to play 5 or 6 of them. I look for big, obviously JP's the known commodity. I think Craig Burton, Mitchell Tinsley have had really good fall camps. They haven't got to play at a game at this level, so we'll see how that goes. But I look for them to play well. I think Xavier Lane's had a really good camp. So, you look at Therese, Dayton, JP, Mitchell Tinsley, Craig Burt, and JP will be the main guys going in, and then we got some young guys, both Fales, Dakota, Thomas, that we can sprinkle in here and there.
Coach, just to follow up on my previous question, that right tackle spot, who are those 2 guys that are kind of vying for that spot, and what have you seen from them so far?
Mason is one. I believe he's a red or a true junior, and then you got Gunnar Britton, who I think he maybe was a redshirt sophomore. So both third-year guys in the program have really been vying for it. Both of them will play. It's just when you get to this level, man, who runs out there first doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's about who who finishes the game, and whoever's playing the best will get to go out there the most. So those two kids have been the main two guys vying for that job.
Coach Jeff Lights here from WKU. So it is game week. What are the things that you as an offense are trying to clean up this week or trying to make sure you get tight before Saturday's matchup?
The little things, it's game one. I'm not speaking ill of other football teams, but as a coach, you watch. I've gotten to see some other teams play so far. We're obviously not the first game of the year, and man, with COVID, with everything that's gone on this year, with 2020, this year's just been tough on everything. But my world is football, so it's been tough on football, and you see some sloppy play a little bit, and that's what I'd like to cut down on. The bad snaps, the pre-snap penalties, the holding calls. Just the sloppy play. I'll feel good about ourselves if we come out of this thing executing, winning football.
Coach Jeff again. So with it being Piggy's first game for the Tops, what are you looking for? Is there something in that first drive or those first couple drives you're hoping to see out of him to make sure everything is all good, going into this game?
Other than the guys wearing those chrome helmets score a touchdown, that would be I would know we're doing all right if that. You could tell a lot by a young man when you look into his eyes before the game. The one thing Piggy and I have got to know each other through the recruiting process, and now obviously him being here playing. The one thing that he's not is scared. I'll give him that. He's a really tough kid. We've gotten after him a little bit. You try to. I've never got to coach him in a game, so I try to create game-like atmospheres for him. I try to create some adversity for him to see how he'll respond to it, and he's never flinched one time. So I'm not saying he's going to go out there and play perfect, but I don't think it's going to be too bright for him. I think he'll be able to handle that setting